Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Hangout. I am your host, BJ Kicks, and I'm glad you're here. This is a very special late night episode of the Hangout, if you want to call it that. It's 8:30. Usually I try to wrap up around this time, but we had some family obligations, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to miss the stream 2 weeks in a row because last week COVID tried to take us out. I mean, that's dramatic. We were fine, but I was definitely like fatigued and knocked out. I could not do the hangout last week. I didn't want to miss it 2 weeks in a row, so we pushed it back a little bit. I'm glad you're here. If you're watching on the replay, this is the Hangout. It's a show where we hang out live. We talk about comics. We talk about current events. We talk about whatever we want to. We have fun doing it. Normally, we do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you didn't get to watch us live this time, hopefully you'll catch us on the next one or a future episode. But like I said, if you are here live, I appreciate you being here. I already see a few people here. You trucking nerds, Shannon's here just in time. Blaine was here early, says, what's up? Joe Mama is here. What's up, Joe Mama? Let's see. Blaine says, hey, how are you? I got my first omnibus yesterday, Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. That is an awesome omnibus to be your first. That was actually one of my first, and now I'm reading it. I'm about a third of the way through, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It takes a little bit longer to read because it is like, silver starting into bronze age stuff, but it's great. It's action-packed. There's character development, there's drama. It's like a soap opera with action scenes, kind of, which maybe doesn't sell it the right way, but that's what it's like. And let's see. Ryan says, what's good, man? What's good? What's good? My man Ben missed the intro. Now he doesn't know whether or not the murder needs a hook. It does not. This type of murder don't need no hook. That is the wildest song an NBA player has ever released. I'll tell you that. But yeah, so this is the Hangout. Like I said, tonight we have a pretty, I don't know if it's a packed show. I don't have any special guests waiting in the back or anything, but I'm just excited to be back. So we're talking about comics. I did just pick up my pull list, but because of, my daughter's dance thing, I didn't get to read my books yet. So we can't talk about this week's comics. I can show you which covers I like the best if you didn't check my Instagram post. But I am going to talk to you guys about the CW shows because I watched those premieres last night, which, well, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I watched Naomi and I watched Superman and Lois. There's breaking news in the world of Spider-Man today, so we're going to talk about that. We got a lot to talk about. What's up, Fourth Wall? My man Danny's here. Carrie's here. What's up, Carrie? And yes, I did watch that, Ben, and I saw him giving the single. I have that single too. It's in my garage. But yeah, that's how I got the intro. The intro beat I made from the 40 bars acapella that's on that record. Aku says, Naomi wasn't bad. I gotta say, I'll give it a shot. I won't say it was bad. But I also won't spoil it. No worries, Danny. I'm not going to be spoiling Superman and Lois. I'm just going to be the same way I review comics. I'll tell you a little bit of an overview, but I'll definitely leave enough meat there for you to go watch it and still be, enjoy the experience. But yeah, Naomi, I might have to give a few more details than I would normally give in order to give my critique. But that's what we're talking about today. Before we get into the meat of the Hangout, I do have to give out a couple of shout outs. So let's see. Victor Hugo's curious about that new Superman. Word. And Ryan just got Justice League Dark and Hellfire Gala in the mail today. I need to go ahead and grab the Hellfire Gala. I'm tripping. And I want Justice League Dark. My shelves are just full, but I should go ahead and buy that too. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do our shout outs. So shout out first to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring the Hangout. They're my LCS, but they don't have to just be local to you for you to enjoy great discounts and deals. So if you go to ultimatecomics.com, then you can find rare exclusive retailer exclusive variants. They've got one coming up for next week's Silver Surfer Rebirth by Alex Maleev. That's a really dope cover. Check that out. And twice a week they do a live show on Facebook. So if you're not watching the Hangout, you can go watch them and buy some stuff and tell them I sent you. And then also, huge shout out to Organic Priced Books. You already know they're the best place to go for collected editions, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, omnis. You can pre-order, order from what's in stock. You can place back orders. Great customer service, great shipping, great transparency. I don't know if you guys saw the video that he put up earlier today, just showing all the damages that come from Penguin Random House and just how hard he works to make sure that your books are in as good condition as possible. So shout out to JP. And if you decide to shop with Organic Price Books, use the coupon code BJKicks. You'll save $2 on every order. And so those are the shout outs. Let's see. Born Hitman wants to know if I read Naomi or was the show my first introduction. No, I read Naomi. I actually did a review of Naomi season 1, that hardcover. I should have put it in the description, but I didn't. I'll go back and do it later. But yeah, I reviewed the hardcover right after they announced the TV show was coming out. So yeah, it's interesting. I love the hardcover. I love the first series. They have Naomi season 2 coming out starting in March. I'm excited about that too. For Danny's up on Naomi, so he's fine with the spoilers. Shannon says, you already know I'm getting that Silver Surfer exclusive. I know. Aku says, forget Naomi and Superman and Lois. Peacemaker was wild. That's on HBO Max, right? I didn't watch Peacemaker. I also haven't seen the Suicide Squad movie. So there's that. Oh, what are we sipping today? It's the classic IBC root beer. I feel like I have to drink it with the label out just so everyone knows it's what it is. Root beer is like my favorite drink in the world. I love it. And I buy all sorts of brands to see what's better and what's worse. This is like, standard run-of-the-mill stuff. I had Boylan last week, and it was like way too licorice tasting for me. I like this, though. My man Skip's in here, says, what's up? What's good, man? I hope you're feeling better. So, yeah, why did I miss the Hangout last week? Well, I canceled Christmas, right? And I was like feeling all down about it. I was mad about it, right? And we didn't go anywhere for Christmas. We didn't visit any family for Christmas. We stayed at home. And it was actually kind of peaceful. I read a bunch of comics and it was dope. And we did that because we thought one of our relatives had COVID. And my wife actually thought she might have had it. So she went and got tested. We waited all Christmas weekend for the results. They came back negative, but that was after Christmas weekend was over. So whatever. We're like, okay, cool. We're going to finally visit all our family on New Year's since we couldn't do Christmas, right? Hang out with my in-laws on New Year's Eve. The following Monday, we find out my mother-in-law tested positive. And then Monday night, my wife starts feeling bad. She gets tested on Tuesday. It's positive. Squeak is running a fever on Wednesday. She tests positive. Then I start feeling bad like Thursday morning. I didn't test positive, but at some point, I'm sure we all had it. By the time I got tested, I think it was already out of my system. But man, let me tell you, like, I started the morning Thursday with just like a little bit of a sore throat. And by 1 o'clock Thursday, I couldn't hold my head up. It was insane. Like I was so tired. So yeah, I had to cancel the Hangout last week. But pleased to say, we're all good. We're all negative. I get like a lingering like bit of congestion when I wake up in the morning. But other than that, totally fine. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful it wasn't worse. Nobody had to go to the hospital. Nobody had to it was an inconvenience, but it wasn't like life threatening at any point. So I'm thankful for that. So that was dope. But yeah, so that's why I missed the hangout last week. So yeah, I wanted to see how my man Skip was doing because I know he came down with the vid too. He says he's getting there. He's still tired, but he's glad we're feeling better. Yeah, man, that fatigue is no joke. Like, and it was weird because yeah, I don't get sick often, right? And so Thursday, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. Friday, I'm like knocked out, dead to the world. But Saturday, I'm like, okay, well, I'm well rested. I woke up, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And then like maybe 2 hours into the day, Saturday, I was like, oh no, I need to jump back into bed. But it was like you would wake up feeling like you were okay, and then all of a sudden it'd be like a different symptom. Like one day I had a splitting headache like all day, like right behind my eyes. It was the weirdest thing. But yeah, we're finally all in the clear, and that's really all that matters. Legion of Comics says John Cena shines in the role of Peacemaker. They're taking him down a perfect path for that casting choice. That's what's up. John Cena is one of those people that just doesn't look real to me. Like, you know, like those dudes that you see and their hands are like the size of like 8 hands put together. Like, that's what John Cena reminds me of. Let's see. JC wants to know how's the Comics Are Dope website going. I'm so behind on editorial stuff. I actually just sent an email to all of the potential contributors earlier today. Or was that yesterday? I think that was yesterday. I actually sent that email off. So we've got some stuff in the works. We're gonna have some editorial content coming soon, some comic reviews, some essays. I'm gonna be writing some stuff, but yeah, between the holidays and COVID, I'm just way behind on a lot of the stuff I wanted to be doing with that brand. But we're jumping on it. Let's see. Carrie says her boyfriend's still dealing with symptoms and they're isolating. It's like a number of days of the after vaccine feelings. Yes. That the COVID felt like the same thing it felt like when I got the vaccine, except it lingered for longer. And in some instances, it was a little bit worse. Like that fatigue, like when I tell you I was just holding Squeak and my arms like gave out, like it was that bad. I didn't have it that bad when I got the vaccine. But yeah, hopefully you get well soon, man. Take it easy. My man Day-Day's in the house. He says, glad you're feeling better. I'm glad too. Ryan says, since you're a root beer expert, what's the best brand? I wouldn't call myself an expert. I try as many things as I can try. Like my whole motto in life is to let no childhood dream go to waste, right? If I want to draw a picture, I'm going to draw a picture. If I want to eat candy all day, I don't eat candy, but I do indulge in root beer. This is one of the better like low tier. Like this is better than A&W and like the mug root beer at the gas station. Like this is a step above that. There's a Frosty, which was just like kind of sugar. I haven't tried Frost Top, which is the one Omnidog loves. But yeah, 1 second. No, you had turkey. I had a little bacon on it. And Leia had turkey, but it didn't have any toppings. Just okay. We'll All right, guys. My wife grabbed some food. Hopefully, we got the right sandwich in here. Although I have a feeling that if it's not the right sandwich, my daughter's going to eat my sandwich anyway. So, yeah, I like this pretty good. The IBC. I'll pretty much buy anything in a glass bottle though. Like I said, boiling was good, but it was like a little bit too much licorice. I could taste it. So I haven't decided. When I decide what the best root beer is, I will let you know. I promise. All right, let's see what we got. I ordered from Jersey Mike's, and I'll tell you what, they gave me plenty of lettuce. Okay, there's tomato. I think, yeah, this this is mine. Great. This is great. So yeah. Gourmet soda, unappreciated. Currently obsessed with Cheerwine. Word. I'm from North Carolina. I've had so much Cheerwine in my life. I'm not a big fan of Cheerwine actually, but I feel like it's a nice like novelty for out of towners and stuff. Um, JC loved IBC root beer because it looks like a beer bottle. Eh, this is pretty good. I'd put it. I'd put it pretty well, pretty high up. There's a brand at Menards, starts with an S. That's pretty good root beer. Word, I'm all down for everyone's root beer suggestions. I'll tell you that much. Um, Tim says now it's a party. Yeah, man. Fourth Wall says Cheerwine's always good to go back to. Yeah. My family, yeah. Cheerwine's good. It's good. It's good. I used to go hammer for Jones Soda. Jones Soda's good. Jones Soda's good. We got to do like a root beer power rankings. We got to get that started. That's a thing that's gonna happen. Let's see. He left root beer for cream soda. It's on ginger beer these days too. Ginger beer, I love. Like ginger beer. We can talk ginger beer. Um, as I've growing up in a West Indian, Caribbean family, you eat at Jamaican spots a lot, right? And you got to kind of pick out which is your favorite Jamaica cola, right? There's the pineapple, there's the cola champagne, there's they got like a fruit punch, like a cream soda, but the one is the ginger beer. That Jamaica cola ginger beer, that's the one. But now that I'm like older, I'm like, okay, I don't want like so much sugar in my ginger beer. Um, so I've been trying a bunch of different ones. There's one. The issue with ginger beer is like you can get a whole lot of spice or a whole lot of sugar. There's not a whole lot. There's not too many brands that like give you the right balance of it. So you have to like pick your ginger beer based on the mood that you're in. Like if you want to have fun, or if you want something sweet, there's different brands for different reasons. Is how I'm feeling about it. So let's see. Shannon says he's gonna send me some birch beer. Word, I'll try it. I'll try it. I'll try pretty much anything as long as it's soda. Goslings is really good. Cock and Bull. He likes the spice and the heat. Word, word. I like the heat too. Um, I like ginger in general. So, but I feel like I've wasted 20 minutes talking about root beer and COVID. Dog, I specifically wanted Jersey Mike's because I wanted the hot buffalo chicken sandwich, and they weren't selling any hot subs through the app. And I placed my pre-order so that my stream wouldn't get interrupted by food, and it didn't matter because they were slow anyway. But anyway, yeah, they weren't selling any hot subs through the app, so I had to settle for. I got the club sub, the turkey, mayonnaise, and bacon, and whatever. It's not what I wanted, but it'll be all right. Somebody asked how Bendis' Justice League is right now, and Aku says it's trash. Honestly, it's I haven't been enjoying it. Like I enjoy learning more about Naomi. That's cool, but overall, as a Justice League title, like when you're reading like dope team books from the past, that book just so clearly pales in comparison. It pales in comparison to its own backup stories. Yeah, it's just not a thing. It's not a thing. Word, he says he's going to send a legit cheesesteak while he's at it. Word, my first job and Skip's first job was at Charlie's Grilled Subs. And as far as I've been told, it's like the closest to a real Philly cheesesteak you'll get outside of Philly. But I don't know. Like everybody makes that claim, don't they? I've heard Geno's and Pat's are whack. Or no, I've heard Pat's is good, but Geno's isn't. But let's see. JC wants to know if physical comics were no more, what hobby would I be into? What would my channel be about? That's a good question because I really enjoy making videos and connecting with community. So I feel like even if I wasn't talking about comics, I'd be on YouTube talking about something. So probably one of the other things that I collect. I don't collect sneakers anymore. Sneakers are a little bit too rich for my blood, or they were, but now I'm buying Omnis every other week. So maybe sneakers aren't too rich for my blood. I just don't get the satisfaction from sneakers anymore. Like if I buy a pair of sneakers, I can wear it a couple of times, but I mean, I work from home. Who's going to see my sneakers? But anyway, yeah, I'd probably talk about, I don't know. I mean, my other channels are about marketing. I talk about marketing a lot. So yeah, that's probably it. Ryan says he wants a beef patty. Yo, I was reading Miles Morales for the book club, and the dude walks into the Jamaican spot and orders a beef patty and cocoa bread with cheese. But he also asked for something stupid on it. I can't remember what it was. But it wasn't just cheese. Like beef patty and cocoa bread with cheese, great. But he added like pepperoni, or like it was something super dumb. Somebody who read the first arc of Salad and the Meds, Miles Morales, tell me what he was. You trucking nerd says Delisandro's is king. Word. And my man Appets, I hope I said that right, says, what t-shirts that you wear now with standing and move? Oh, you just want to know what I'm wearing right now. Got you. I feel like that's a whole different type of stream. And I feel like there should be like money involved or something, but not playing. This is just an X-Men t-shirt. This is the line art for the cover of X-Men issue 11. It's my favorite Jim Lee X-Men cover out of that run. And so this lovely shirt, I have two of them in two different sizes from Target, and I'm likely going to buy a third soon. Like, if I could only wear one shirt for the rest of my life, it'd probably be this shirt. So yeah. And Ben says, speaking of physical comics, seems like your haul videos are the ones that get all the traction. Any plans to increase the views on the other videos? Ever worried you'll turn into a haul channel? I worry about that a lot, actually, because, you know, I don't, for one, I'm running out of space. So I can't buy as many books as I used to anyway. And then in addition to that, I don't want my channel to be about the wrong thing, right? Like, I love sharing comics with you guys. I genuinely get excited when there's a new book, right? So I love being able to be like, yo, look what I got this week. You should check this out because, and so on. But yeah, I can't lie. Like, I do worry that it sends the wrong message to just like be posting hauls all the time. And it's like, it's unrealistic too, like, because like I sink a lot of money into this hobby, but I also make my money back in ways that, you know, I can't really show off on camera. So I don't feel like it's an accurate picture of like what I feel the hobby is about. But the other issue I run into is like people just don't watch anything else. Like when I was reviewing single issues, those didn't really get views. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But since it's just us and this is the hangout and you guys get the exclusives first, I'm starting a new series next month called Who's Who. And basically, one of my goals this year was to learn a lot more like comics history, because, you know, I'm newer to the hobby. I didn't start reading comics until 2019. So a lot of the classic runs I haven't read. So one way I'm attacking that is like diving super deep into the collected editions on my shelves. Like I'm reading through all of Claremont's X-Men this year. Next year, I'm probably going to do a Spider-Man read through and Batman at the same time. So, but anyway, so I'm doing deep dives on my collected editions, but also, um, I'm going to be studying. Like I've got the Handbook of the Marvel Universe. I've got the DC Who's Who books, and there are second volumes of both of those coming out. So, starting a new series called Who's Who, where basically, as I study comic history, I make videos to tell you what I learned. So, um, spoiler alert: the first issue is going to be on the history of Batman. So you'll get a character history, their origin, their abilities, and like some notable stories. You know, things that everybody else recommends, and also things that I recommend. So that'll be the content of Who's Who. I plan to post an episode of Who's Who every week. I don't expect they're going to get a whole bunch of views starting out, but I do think that as I build the library of characters that are featured, people will start to search for them more, and hopefully it'll be a staple on the channel, and people will come to the channel to learn more about comics history, in addition to seeing like what I'm buying and what I'm reading each week. So, yeah, that's the plan, Ben. You got the exclusive out of me. Comic history is fun. It says haul videos get the views across the board, though. I think they're the ones that bring people that are the new viewers the most. It's true. It's true. So let's see. Blaine says he's glad I did another overview. Yeah, I want to start doing more overviews than hauls too. I'm trying to, if I can at all do this in like a viable way, I would like to just do the one haul video a month, and then like fill the rest of the schedule with like actual content. I feel like that keeps it fresh for me, but it is harder to do. Let's see. Truck and Dirt says his first review video was a bust, maybe because the book was from 2017. It's just because people just don't like people. People don't read comics as much as they act like they read comics. That's what it is. And so when you're doing a review, if somebody hasn't read the issue yet, they're not going to necessarily want to watch your review because they don't want to get spoiled. And if they have read the issue and they don't know you, they don't need your opinion on it, right? And then, new comics come out every week. So it's like, you got to plan your reviews super far in advance. Like, the reviews that have done well for me are when like DC puts stuff up on midnight on Tuesday, or basically Monday night at midnight, and I stay up, read the issue, and put a review out that morning, so people are checking it out right before they go to the comic shop. But yeah, so reviews are they're hit and miss. You never know if they'll work, but yeah. So let's see. Tim says, I know it's a little early, but anyone else excited about Icon and Rocket number 5 coming next Tuesday? I'm very excited. Icon and Rocket number 5. Well, Icon and Rocket, the series, is my least favorite of the new Milestone series, but the art is spectacular, and the story that they've built is like really fun. Once I got past how different it was from the original, and I was able to kind of just appreciate it as its own thing, I really enjoy it. I'm waiting for this payoff. We only got 2 issues left, so I'm excited about it. Let's see. JC says his will be about Superman and Green Lantern. Yeah, they're all gonna. Everybody that you could think of is gonna have an episode of Who's Who, if I can help it. Like I said, because it's my goal to learn about these characters. So whether or not you watch the video, I got to read about them anyway. So why not make something that other people can reference and learn from when I'm done? Doing this in a viable way. Isn't that the dream, though? Right. Right. So much harder in this niche than other niches that I've been active on YouTube in the past. I see why there's not a lot of people doing it, honestly. Tom, what's up, Tom? Good to see you, man. Says he enjoys the reviews. I've always steered him in the right direction. I appreciate that. I do enjoy reviewing books just because I feel like I read titles that other people don't necessarily talk about. So it's like if I don't do a review, in a lot of these instances, nobody else is going to do a review either. What's up, Morgan? That's my man who wrote Lumberjacks, which I'm going to be reviewing soon on the channel. But yeah, what's up, man? So yeah. What were we even talking about? I guess we should get into a topic, right? With 30 minutes in. So let me share my screen real quick. We'll start with the breaking news that I was not expecting. And that being this. So, wait, where did the article go? Oh, that's whack. So I got to find the article now. There we go. So, Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. are launching a new volume of Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man is restarting at issue number 1 later on this year. Did they say when? When is it coming out? April. So, currently, I'm reading this whole Beyond saga, and it's good, not great. Some issues are really good, and some issues are just like clearly just there to get you to the next issue. And I'm like, well, I'm down for the ride because I'm sure they're building up to something epic. Well, this is the something epic that they're building to. And I don't know personally if it's as epic as they think it is. Now, John Romita Jr. is a legendary Spider-Man artist. Of course, his dad is like the definitive Spider-Man artist of the Silver Age, right? John Romita Sr. Fun fact, John Romita Jr. is not a junior, but anyway. And John Romita Jr. has had his own, legendary run on Spider-Man. He was on he did stuff on the Roger Stern Omnibus. He spent some time on the JMS run. Like, he's one of the definitive Spidey artists of his generation. But John Romita Jr. almost made me quit Batman. Like, it got to a point where, and now, to be fair, I didn't start reading comics until 2019. Tom King was just ending his run on Batman. And then, so John Romita Jr. had some issues with Batman, and I was like, did not like the art in his issues of Batman. And then he did Superman Year One with Frank Miller. Now, never mind how nonsensical the story was, John Romita Jr.'s art in Superman Year One was just not it. Like, it was just not hitting it. It just wasn't. And picking up Superman Year One made me say, I am never picking up a book with John Romita Jr.'s name on it again. You will not fool me and take my money for this artwork. Now, I have since become more familiar with his work in the past, and I wish his work now was more like the work in the past. I'll say this little promo image doesn't look bad, except his leg is weirdly bent. And then let's look at these pages that they've got up here for preview, right? My issue with John Romita Jr.'s artwork is it's like this. There's not depth to his art. You can tell his pencils are really loose. And so, like, depending on who's inking him, it gets interpreted really loosely as well. But the biggest thing is the faces. The faces all look smushed in. And I'm like, what is that about? It was worse on Superman Year One. I can't lie. This isn't as bad as other John Romita Jr. stuff I've seen in recent years. And for interior artwork, this is serviceable. Like, this is fine. But there's nothing in these 4 preview pages that's better than anything I've seen from Patrick Gleason in some of these Beyond issues. And I was really hoping that we were leading up to, um, you know, Patrick Gleason being the full-time Spider-Man artist. So I'm disappointed for a couple of reasons. One, I don't get more Patrick Gleason, but then also I get John Romita Jr. instead. Like, so yeah, so that's the announcement. Zeb Wells is doing a decent job though. He's like basically running the Spider-Man office. Like he's in charge of the Spider-Man story. And like I said, the Beyond storyline is good overall. I don't know why they're stretching it as much as they are, but it's not a bad story. I'm definitely down to see where the Beyond storyline takes us, where it ends. Uh, oh, Javon's here. What's up, man? So Javon wants to debate JRJR artwork with me. Listen, send me the JRJR work that you love. All I'm saying is, since I got into comics in 2019, JRJR has not impressed me once. But I'm only talking about his work released since 2019. Because like I said, some of his older stuff that I've seen, I like it. And I think, like I said, I think he really benefits depending on who's inking his work. Like this cover image isn't bad. There's definitely like some fundamental stuff. Like this leg is just wrong. But I mean, I think it just comes from like an older school, like the gesture drawing, like let's have fun, let's be loose with the pencils, like let's just, make it there, make it dynamic or whatever. It doesn't have to be like technically accurate as long as it looks good. This isn't bad. I like this cover. But these faces, man, everybody's face all smushed in. And he says, I don't think his style fits DC characters. That could be it. That could be it. Because all the stuff I see from JRJR recently has been DC stuff. Like that last page on Infinite Frontier, that picture of Darkseid, I was like, dog, what? See, Skip knows what I'm talking about. He says JRJR stuff is looking embarrassing sometimes these days. And it clearly, to me, seems like lack of trying, like lack of effort. And it's like, why rush it? Like, take your time. It's your artwork. Your name's got to go on that. And your name is your dad's name. Like, that should mean even more. The leg is killing it. The more I look at the leg, it's bothering me. Yeah. That leg is it's something. Because his other, like, why? Why is so are we leading with the foot? Like, should your eye be drawn to the foot? I guess it should, but why is it bent like this? I don't see. All right, I don't want to keep critiquing this artwork. That wasn't the point. The point was the new era of Spider-Man has been announced, and John Romita Jr. is going to be drawing it. And I can't lie, I don't know. Deadlines. That's true. I feel you. I feel like JRJR doesn't do enough work to use deadlines as an excuse. Like, it's not like he's on a monthly title. He is now, but he hadn't been for a minute. He was just doing like fill-in issues and covers every now and then. It really just feels like he was rushing to work. He's trying to do a Kirby thing with the leg. It's not working. The leg is fetch. He needs to stop trying to make it happen. You can bend the leg like that in real life. I mean, I know like in real life, legs like do slant outwards. Like the bottom of your leg doesn't walk in a straight line with your, the thigh or whatever. I'm not an artist. I guess I shouldn't critique art because I can't draw, or I can't draw that well. I can't draw professionally, or I don't. So maybe I'm not qualified to talk about it, but I know what looks good to me. Let's see. Javon says I'd be surprised, especially if you account for commissions. Okay, well maybe he's spending an inordinate amount of time doing commissions, which I get because you can set your own rate for commissions. You can, pay your bills with commissions. I just feel like the work that you do professionally for the companies that distribute comics to like all the casual fans who would in turn see your art and be like, ooh, I want this guy's work. Let me see if he does commissions. Like that, if you're leading with that, like that's got to be the best stuff, right? Some of it, anyway. But this was not a John Romita Jr. trashing session. I just had to tell you I wasn't. It just wasn't. Yeah. JR is a workman comic artist. His basics are pretty flawless, but he has a particular style that's evolved over time. Has it evolved or has it like degenerated? I'm honestly just having fun with this conversation, but we got other things to talk about. So that was the Spider-Man news. Hopefully, like in all seriousness, I have been waiting to love Spider-Man since I got into comics. Nick Spencer's run wasn't doing it for me. This Beyond era is okay. I love certain issues. I like other issues. And so that's good. But I'm waiting to like be blown away by Spider-Man. I'm not confident that John Romita Jr. is going to be the one that does it for me, but maybe Zeb Wells' story will save that. But I seriously hope that it's a great, great book, and I hope it looks great. We'll see. Morgan says, "Don't worry, Javon just likes arguing." I feel that. Now, when Javon goes timeout, I'm like, oh snap, it just got real. Let's see. Not my style. Spice had a certain flexibility since Todd. I guess we'll just see. Yeah, I mean, I don't need like the exaggerated like flexibility like Todd did. I think it added a lot to it. I don't need everybody to do that. I feel like if we're doing comics in 2022, we need better anatomy, right? Trucker says, no, let's talk about legs. What kind of pants you wearing? That's hilarious. I'm okay at drawing arts. I mean, you would know, right? I don't know if I've seen, Tim, have I seen your sketches? Skip says, hope JR makes me eat my words in that leg. That's hilarious. Said he draws fast to meet deadlines. You either like his woe email or you don't. Mm-hmm. This is true, Ben. This is true. I'm just mad because I specifically want to love Spider-Man. And I feel like Marvel keeps making that harder for me to do. Like, it's supposed to be your flagship, guy. Put Pepe Larraz on Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. Somebody. JC loves Ben Reilly. But yeah, so that was the Spider-Man news. Now, we can talk about, oh, wait. I got to do this whole thing. So, shout out to Ultimate Comics. You guys already know that's the home team. They're my LCS. I buy comics from them all the time. And other times, I buy stuff from the Ultimate Comics live show. They do it every Tuesday and Thursday. Now, the way it works is you watch the stream, you claim the stuff, you fill out a Google form so they can invoice you. So they do streams Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. They send your invoice out on Sunday. You pay it Sunday night. And if you're local to the Raleigh area, you can actually do in-store pickup by Wednesday. And if not, it's just $8 flat rate shipping anywhere in the United States. So here's what happens, right? Inevitably, I watch a bunch of streams. I claim a bunch of stuff. I pay the invoice while barely looking at the invoice. And by the time my stuff comes to the shop the following Wednesday, I have no idea what's in this sleeve. So I figure we do a little bit of an unboxing here. And do I need a knife? I try my best not to use knives because forget it. I'm going to use a knife. Oh, wait. It's got a little pull tab. I'm tripping. It's right here. So, well, that was fun. I hope you guys peeped the irony, right? Says he doesn't want to do haul videos all the time. Proceeds to do an unboxing live on the Hangout. Is it Uchiwali or one mic? All right. Boom. So, got that out of the way. And, oh yeah. I remember what this is. All right. So, first up, here's a set of comics I paid $20 for. This is The Amazing Spider-Man Skating on Thin Ice, Double Trouble, Hit and Run, and Chaos in Calgary. These were like the Saturday afternoon special of comic books they did in partnership with like some kind of police union in Canada. But these are the first, and to my knowledge, only 4 times that Dwayne McDuffie wrote Spider-Man. And of course, this is a precursor to his work on Static. So this is just great history. You guys know I'm a big Milestone fan. These aren't Milestone comics, but they're by Dwayne McDuffie. So I bought them for $20. So that's that. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah. This was the 1 in 25 or 1 in 10. I think it's 1 in 25 cover for X-Men number 6 that came out last week. This is a cover by Pepe Larraz. I just love this team cover. It just looks dope. So that's that. Did I need it? No, I didn't need it, but I wanted it, so I bought it. Let's see. What else do we have? This is Static Shock number 1, the New 52 Static series. Now, you guys know I'm collecting all the original Milestone titles. This doesn't count in that. This is the New 52. And good Lord, is this 8-issue series god awful. So much so that John Rosen, who is credited as a co-writer, completely disowned this work. This dude, Scott McDaniel, apparently wrote everything, and it was like just hampered by editorial interference and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we had like random people getting cloned. I don't want to spoil this, but this book is trash, but it's Milestone history. So there we go. I got it. I bought it. Hilarious. You know what's funny? I actually bought this stuff because Shannon was running a contest on his channel, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like just let me know you participate in the contest. You spend $25, you know, I'll enter you in a mystery wheel or whatever. You could win $100." And so I spent the money, and I forgot to tell Shannon I spent the money. But this was the item that I bought initially. It was $24, so I had to buy like one other thing. But this is RoboCop versus the Terminator, a full 4-issue miniseries from Dark Horse. I mean, it just sounds ridiculous, and so I bought it because it sounds ridiculous, and I needed to spend $25. So, yeah, there we go. So that was my haul from the Ultimate Comics live show. I don't shop at the live show as often as I would like, or as often as I used to. I shop plenty enough, I guess. But this, in my opinion, was the prize of the haul. I knew watching the stream that no one knew what this was, but I had to go ahead and grab it up before somebody else tried to grab it for the McFarlane cover. I wanted it for the writing. And RoboCop versus Terminator, this just sounds like some fun. Like, I'm going to read this and I'm going to review it on the stream because I know the video wouldn't do well, but I mean, I got to talk to somebody about RoboCop versus the Terminator. And yeah, X-Men. Love this cover. So, you almost bid on that? What did you almost bid on, Trey? The Spider-Man set? I bet. Or the Terminator joint, the RoboCop Terminator. That's just, I mean, I'm all down for like mashups that don't make sense. And that's a mashup that doesn't make sense. So, it's a horse of a different color. I gotta stop putting comics over here because that's where I put my sandwich. Oh, he almost got the Spidey set. That makes sense. Shannon knew what it was, but knew that I wanted it. He wanted the RoboCop. You wanted that? That's ironic. How about this? I'll read it, and then I'll probably send it to you. Priest had a great run on Spidey too. I need to check that out. I need to get into more of Priest's work. I've read some of his Black Panther, not all. I bought his Deathstroke. I'm trying to collect the Priest run on Steel, penciled by Dennis Cowan. Uh, Priest literally is on the record saying that Dennis Cowan was like clearly just phoning it in to pay some bills, but had no interest in the stuff. But anyway, I want to get that run, and they're probably never going to collect it, so I'm going to have to get the single issues, and let's see what happens with it. Fast Comments is here, says he just created a YouTube channel to do reviews on Omnibus. I'm glad that you're in. Welcome to the YouTuber community. I hope that your channel is successful. I hope that you have fun. Above all, that's my advice. Make videos that you want to watch, because for a very long time, you're going to be the only one watching them. I mean, that's just how it goes. They have a collection of the first few issues of Priest Steel. Word. Now I got to see if I can hunt that down. It'll probably be cheaper for me to just go ahead and grab the single issues. I got a few spots I usually hit up to see where I can find them. Won't blow them up on the internet right now, though. Jimmy G says, great books. Thanks, man. Thanks. Love Priest. He's way too real. Been around too long. He's personally super interesting between being a musician and an ordained pastor. There's a podcast interview that Priest did. I can't even remember who the outlet was that he did it from. But it was like basically the whole running joke was that Priest did not want to be known as like the black writer who writes black characters. And so he was talking about this hiatus he had been on from the comics industry. And he was just like, yeah, because, they wanted me to like write like Black Jungle Band. And like every 10 minutes, he would just say some ridiculous superhero name with black in front of it. And it was great. I would love to talk to Priest one day. I'm trying. I can't tell you guys what I'm trying to do, but there's something that I'm working on where it would make sense to talk to Priest. I don't know how in the world you would get in touch with Priest, though. Let's see. Priest wrote early Quantum and Woody he created Quantum and Woody. I've got some Priest Deadpool, too. I bought this whole omnibus because Priest Deadpool was in it around the same time he was on Black Panther. Javon says he met Priest a few years ago. He treated him like he knew him for years. That's what's up, man. He's one of those people, like, you don't get to see him talking often, but when you do, it's just like, I'm just gonna listen to everything this man says. I can't. All I can tell you, Morgan, is that it might push our interview date by a week. So that's all I can tell you, though. Yeah. So, all right, we hit 2 items on the agenda. We did a little unboxing. Talked about Spider-Man. I guess we can get to the main attraction. And that is, I don't have a slide. Do I have a slide? Everything else. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So I have to just use this little placeholder that I have here. And we're going to talk about these CW shows that I watched last night. Because I got thoughts. So the first thing I did was I watched, my bad, I'm reading y'all's comments. I watched Naomi. So you guys ask me all the time to review Marvel and DC movies, TV shows and stuff. And I always tell you the same thing. I don't watch TV like that. Like my wife, she will binge watch anything on Netflix. But me, I don't have the patience. TV doesn't move quick enough for me. Like, what I love about comics is if I want the story to move forward, I just turn the page, right? If I want Naomi to pick up and do something, I gotta just wait for it to happen, right? So I don't watch a lot of TV um, because it feels like a time suck. And if I spend too long doing something, I start wondering like what I could be doing instead. But I really like the character Naomi from the comics. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to give this show a shot. And Superman and Lois, I actually had watched all of season one of, which I think was only like, I don't know, 9 episodes or something like that. And so since it was on the CW website and I was sitting at my computer anyway, I watched Superman and Lois too. But we're gonna do this little we're gonna do this review. And man, so Naomi. Naomi is a character that's pretty new in comics, right? They had a mini series. She's created by Brian Michael Bendis with David Walker, and the artist was Jamal Campbell. And that series is great, right? Jamal Campbell's artwork is phenomenal. I really like the character Naomi. She's named after Dwayne McDuffie, so that gets points, with me. And her story is really interesting. Like I said, I did a whole review of the 6-issue miniseries, but here's the thing. The 6-issue miniseries opens up way more questions than it answers, right? Like, I would consider the 6 issues of Naomi, like, the material in there is pretty much what I would put in a pilot episode of a TV show. Maybe a 2-episode arc, right? And then you got to jump into the action. You got to go develop that character. You got to do more with this girl. And so far, we don't have that in the comics with Naomi. She did just spend some time with the Justice League. We got a little bit more information about her, or I should say she learned a little bit more about herself. But overall, we don't know a ton about Naomi. So I was very curious to see how are they going to handle this character on the TV show. Now, I know that Brian Michael Bendis is like semi-involved. Ava DuVernay just loves Bendis. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe there's some stuff that they're saving for the show that we're going to see in the comics later, right? Maybe. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if you felt like you didn't get anything in the 6-issue miniseries, and Danny just said it right here. Danny just said it right here. Now they're going to take the whole season to get through these 6 issues. I'm willing to bet. It does feel that way. So, Naomi, I like the show. So I was supposed to write out a whole like bullet points to talk about, but I'm winging it, right? So the pros, things that I liked about the show. I like the actress that plays Naomi. I think she does a good enough job. Like, I think she looks the part. I think she delivers her lines well. Like, she's a good actor. I'm trying to think of like how did the episode even go? Okay, so in order to tell you why I don't like this show, I have to tell you what I love about the comic, right? So the comic, Naomi is like this outcast. She's adopted, and she knows she's adopted. She's a super fan of Superman. Like, Superman exists in her world. Nothing happens in her small town that she lives in, so she's never really seen a superhero. But she's been diagnosed at like the psychiatrist's office with what the psychiatrist calls like a Superman syndrome, where because you're adopted, you just think there's got to be something special about you in the same way that there's something special about Superman because he's from another world, doesn't exactly belong. Like, he's got to be something exceptional about him, right? Naomi, in the comics, there's nothing particularly exceptional about her. And she's sort of defined by this longing to discover something special about herself, right? And so in the comic, basically the book opens up where some kind of catastrophic event happens in town. Basically, Superman and Mongol end up fighting in her random town in the Pacific Northwest. The fight lasts like 2 seconds. They leave, and Naomi missed it. Everybody was talking about it. She missed it. She didn't get to see it. And she loves Superman, so she's bummed about it, right? Um, then she finds out, like, because she's on this quest to find out something special about herself, she's like, something interesting has to happen in this town. And so she finds out that there was one other superhero sighting back in the day. And so she's investigating that incident. And her investigating that incident is what leads to her learning a lot of things about herself. Without spoiling it, I'll just say Naomi has a very interesting backstory, right? I won't tell you what it is. I want you guys to find out for yourself if you actually want to read those books. But she's a lot more important to the DC universe than she thinks, or really anyone can realize right now. And that first series is about her discovering that. We are getting Naomi season 2 in March starting. And I believe that's where we're going to really start fleshing out, okay, what are her powers? How does she use them? Like, how's she going to come into her own and deal with, who she is and so on, right? But that first 6 issues literally ends with her she finds out who she is and and how powerful she is. She fights a bad guy once, and then it ends, right? And that's the series, right? Now, what I love about Naomi is, like I said, this longing that she has to belong, like to feel exceptional. You sympathize with her, like you feel for her because you want something to be special about her too, right? Let's cut to the opening of Naomi, season 1, episode 1. That book opens, or that the TV show opens with Naomi at a party, like, and not just like kind of in the corner, stand up against the wall. No, she's like the girl that like everyone is interested in at this party. And so it's like, all right, well, I don't have the outcast type of thing to associate her with, right? And yeah, so you don't have that. And the whole like Mongol or Superman fight does end up happening later on in the episode. That's the other thing. This pilot was 42 minutes long. I watched all 42 minutes and I had to sit through commercials because it was on the CW website. It dragged, dog. It dragged. Because in this pilot, we establish who Naomi is. We establish who her friends are. We establish her love interests. And then we get her starting to question things about this whole Superman appearance. Because Naomi runs a Superman blog. She runs like a website dedicated to Superman. And so here's the other thing. Superman is like a myth where she lives. Like they have comic books where she lives. So like Superman is a comic book character, but then like also potentially a superhero. And so like she's trying to confirm whether or not it was really Superman that came to town. And at one point you're made to believe that Superman coming to town was a hoax. So that's the overview. The episode ends with like a big reveal that's going to lead us to learning more about who Naomi is, right? And that's exciting. But there is so little material to go off of, on the show and in the comics, that the way I feel about it is like, you almost got to pick one. Like, you're either going to like the Naomi comic or you're going to like the Naomi TV show, because they're not really vibing like that together the way I thought they might. Now, as far as the cons, like what I didn't like about the show, the typical stuff that you would expect from a CW show, like a whole lot of fluff. Specifically, I don't like the love interests. Like in the comic, there's one person that you think Naomi like might end up with later on down the line, and it's like, okay, cool, that's a nice little tease. We'll see what happens with that. On this TV show, there's literally 4 people vying for Naomi's romantic interest. At one point, her dad calls her on it, like, yo, when are you going to pick somebody? And she says, you want me to settle down at 16? So I'm like, you don't have this whole outcast thing going for you. And then also, you're kind of a jerk, because she's kind of clearly stringing along like 4 different people who clearly want to be with her as more than friends. It's also weird that there's that many love interests. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know. I feel like the show is trying to be one thing and the comic was already a different thing. But because there's so little comic to go off of, you kind of want the show to expand something. But I feel like if I'm just going off episode 1, I'd rather just have the comic and I'll just wait for season 2 of the hardcover. That's what I do. But I got to give it like a real good college try, right? I'm going to see like how they do episode 2. But I'll tell you what, sitting through 42 minutes every week, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do it every week, because there's not that much material to work with. I don't know how many episodes is in a season. I don't know, are they doing like, is it 12 episode seasons? There is not 12 episodes worth of material unless they come up with something completely new for the show, which I'd be fine with, right? But yeah, so what I didn't like, it took a very long time to get to some action. There's a whole lot of like just teen drama, not really drama, but just like teens being teens on TV. But the problem is I don't like any of the teen actors, except there's one girl besides Naomi. I'm like, oh, she's actually good at what she's doing. Everybody else is just kind of talking. It's like they just read the script that morning. Now, to be fair, it's the first episode. It's a pilot. Maybe they put more effort into the subsequent episodes, like that ended up getting the series ordered to television. But I already don't like TV because it moves too slow. And this show really moved slow. But I think the show is made for a different audience. I think with all the high school stuff that they're doing, they're clearly trying to attract high schoolers. I think that's why there's so many love interests. I think there's supposed to be like a statement there about how it's okay to not know what you want. Here's my problem. The Naomi comic book is about Naomi finding out who she is. And the Naomi TV show so far seems to be about Naomi finding out who she wants to be. And those are different things. And I don't know if I'm down for that last journey as much as I am the former journey. I'm all for self-discovery, find out who your adopted parent or your birth parents were, find out where you came from, find out that you have this great heritage. Dope. But you want to be like 16 and like be like, ooh, do I like girls? Do I like guys? Do I like this girl or this girl? Or do I like all of them? Or do I like it's a lot. And I'm like, I'm 30, so I don't have the patience to watch you make that decision. Like, just holler at me when it's done and we can talk about something else. That's how I feel about the first episode of Naomi. I promise I don't just bash things all the time, but Lord, that's what it felt like. Let's see what's going on. Skip retired from CW shows. He's going to come out of retirement because he's addicted to watching Bendis' modern creations underperform and him not succeed in Hollywood. Man, this character has such good potential. I love Naomi in the comics, and I really want to love Naomi on TV because this actress deserves it. Like, she's good at what she does. She really played the part well, but I just don't know if she can overcome both the lackluster script, the lackluster acting, and the fact that there's not enough story to tell on the TV show. Danny wants to know what I think the milestone animated film is going to be about. I don't know. I think it's going to be like a Justice League origin style movie where we kind of learn a little bit about each milestone character and they team up at the end to fight some threat. What threat? I don't know. Probably some, rogue bang baby. But that's what I assume. And then out of that, I think we'll start getting like individual milestone Dakota Universe animated movies. Or at least that's my hope. Let's see. Hey, look what happened with Game of Thrones. That might not be a good example. Doesn't bode well for Naomi. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I can't say. Let's see. Fourth, or Danny says, I feel like they want this to go on 6 seasons, and I was just hoping to get more info after the comics. Right. I tuned into the show because I'm like, oh, they're going to add another layer to this comic, to this character from the comic that I liked a lot. And so far, they're not. In fact, they've taken away really important layers of this character, and they're not replacing it with anything great so far. Not to mention their versions of like the villain from the comic. I'm like, okay, I don't know if this dude's gonna transform into something or what, but that ain't gonna do it. That's not gonna fly. Like, that's not Zumbato. And then their version of a Thanagarian is like, what is happening? So at this point, I'm curious to watch it to see how different it ends up being. But I don't know if I got the patience for these 42-minute episodes, though. Shannon says, you don't bash stuff, huh? Tell us about horror comics. I don't bash horror comics. I've never read horror comics. I just don't do demons. That's all. Tim says, this Naomi show is going to flop for 1 season. I hope not. But I think this show has that great Black Hope problem, too. Right? Where, like, anything with a Black lead has to, like, carry the weight of the race on it. And we have to, like, try to attach so many initiatives so that while people are being seen, people can feel seen. Like, and that's a whole different conversation that I don't necessarily want to get into right now. But I do think this suffers from that because this series is going to get like all sorts of like publicity because Ava DuVernay is attached. Ava DuVernay is who you call when you want to appeal to Black people, of a certain ilk. And, she's already gone on her press run and press tour talking about how this is so important for representation and diversity and normalizing certain people and feelings and things like that. I feel like them trying to attach so much to this character it has potential to be a death knell for the character and the series, but it's only been 1 episode. Yeah, Danny, that dude is supposed to be Thanagarian. And yes, that's why. In the comics, there's a connection to Thanagar that I won't spoil here. I won't spoil it here. But Thanagar, that's Thanagar, right? Yeah, Thanagar is important to Naomi's heritage and history. her real history. So there's that. Carrie says, this whole be seen for the purpose of being seen won't carry a show if it's boring. Exactly. I felt like they leaned more into the, oh, let's throw this on the screen. Like, there's literally like this, the purple haired love interest at one point. Like, and look, I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for anyone being seen, right? Like, I'm a black dude with an afro. I say this all the time. One day I'm going to cut my hair, so I have to find a new line. But I'm a black dude with an afro. You can probably guess my stance on most topics, right? And I would never like say, I don't want you to be seen. But we have to serve a good story too. And I don't think this book had enough story to be adapted into a TV show to begin with. And it doesn't seem like they're adding much outside of, the being seen. At least not from episode 1. Maybe episode 2 is going to add some more depth. Skip says that's real, especially with Ava attached and her attachments to Selma, etc. I feel for the creative contributors in that sense. Yeah. Representation is important, but representation has to be seen, and boring doesn't get seen. Exactly. I wanted this show to be amazing. Like, there's nothing I want more than for a little girl that looks like she could be my daughter. I mean, maybe not my daughter, but like my daughter could grow up and look like her, right? I would love nothing more than to like sit down and watch it with my daughter and like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is cool. Maybe she wants to be an actress. Maybe she wants to be a superhero. Maybe she wants to be both, right? I don't know. But this I wouldn't watch with my daughter because so far it's not reinforced. It's not reinforcing the right attitudes, right? Like that weird like indecisiveness and stringing people along, like that's not a good personality trait to have, right? Like, be who you want to be and be that person and stick to your word and all that. But as of right now, I can't call Naomi a role model, which is fine. She's 15. She's figuring it out. That's fine. I'm just saying there's got to be more to the story. There's got to be more to the story. I'm going to give it another episode. Danny's going to fully support the season. My views aren't going to count toward the ratings anyway. I don't have cable. So I don't know like what my views are going to do on the website. I'm going to give it one more episode. But every hour I spend watching TV is an hour I don't spend reading comics or recording a video or editing that video or being live on the Hangout or any number of things that I already have to do in a generally busy day. And not to mention, watching TV doesn't make any money for me. So that's that. Ben says, don't cut your hair. It's awesome. I have to do it. I'm going to grow it back out. But yeah, there was some damage to parts of my hair. I cover it up well, but it's time to cut it and start over. It'll take me like a year to grow it back. A year and a half or so. It'll be back. It's just hair. Tim has to agree. I'm assuming you mean with me. And Marcus says, great point. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. But yeah, overall, again, the issues that plague Naomi are not specific to Naomi. A lot of the TV shows are like, a whole lot of fluff, a little bit of action. The CW doesn't have the budget to give us like the MCU on TV every week. But like I need something more than kids going to a party and having crushes on each other and shoving each other up against lockers or whatever. Give me what's in the comics. But that would only be one episode of TV. So I don't know what you're going to do. All right, let's get off Naomi. And let's talk about Superman and Lois. Because I watched Superman and Lois. I'm trying to find a good little Good little splash page to keep on here. I guess we'll just go to IMDb and blow this picture up. So I watched Superman and Lois season 2, episode 1, and I like it. I like it a lot. So Superman and Lois, as you can see, is about Superman, Lois, and their 2 kids, John and Jordan, aka JoJo. Don't they call him JoJo? JoJo, what you tell me? But nah. So yeah, the Superman and Lois. Superman decided to move his family back to Smallville last season. There was like this whole dude. My bad. Spoilers for season 1 of Superman and Lois. There was this whole dude who we find out was a Kryptonian who was basically trying to bring back the Kryptonian race. He had a device that was turning humans into Kryptonians and then uploading their consciousness into the human. And so Superman had to figure it out. Meanwhile, there's a dude who comes from another Earth in the multiverse who, on his Earth, Superman was responsible for like destruction of the planet, and more specifically the murder of this dude's wife, who happens to look a lot like Lois Lane, like who is Lois Lane in an alternate dimension. And so this dude comes from this other multiversal Earth to kill Superman. Finds out like, no, Superman really is a good guy. They end up teaming up to beat the bad guy. And that's how that's not how season 1 ends. They end up teaming up to beat the bad guy. The dude that comes from the other alternate universe, John Henry Irons, Steel. Yes, Steel. In a way that you've never seen him before. But anyway, Steel has a daughter who, on his Earth is his daughter with Lois Lane. He thinks that she's dead. In the season finale of season 1, we find out his daughter is alive and comes to Earth to be with him. And who's the first person she lays eyes on when she gets to Earth? That's right, Lois Lane, her not mom, that she thinks is her mom. And that is where we pick up season 2, episode 1, literally right after that point, or 3 months later. So, yeah, Natasha's got to adjust to life on this new Earth where, it's a parallel Earth. So everything that she sees looks like what she's familiar with from her planet, but it's not, because it's our Earth. It's Earth 1 or whatever. So she's dealing with that, and that gives you plenty of teen angst. Plenty. And then meanwhile, Jordan, kid with the curly hair over here, his love interest from last season comes back from a summer camp, and something just ain't the same. I'm guessing she met somebody at camp. There was literally a line where she said, yeah, everything's better at camp. So that's what I'm going to go out on a limb and say, but something between the two of them is not right. And that's another layer of teen angst and just high school drama. And Superman and Lois are not on the best of terms for a reason that I won't spoil, because it really is the emotional crux of the episode. Superman and Lois are kind of on the not in a great place. I love this series because it's Superman being a family man, right? The one thing I do appreciate about Superman, when I don't necessarily appreciate how overpowered he comes off, I don't necessarily appreciate how he comes off like a Boy Scout and so on. Like there's any number of reasons why I'm not a Superman fan. What I've always appreciated about Superman since I've started like really making an effort to read him is the family aspect. I love how he treats his family. I love the cast of characters around Superman and how he cares for them. And I love that he, strives to be a symbol of hope. I love that he likes to do or tries to do the right thing, no matter what the situation is. But I think nothing tests you and your fortitude in that way like raising a family. So I love seeing Superman raising his family. I love seeing him deal with, like, I don't know, his high school age kids doing high school age kid stuff. And I love seeing him balance his, like, you know, optimistic demeanor with the bulldog that is Lois Lane. So those are things that I like about Superman, whether it's in comics or on TV or whatever. I feel like this TV show does a good job at displaying all those things. Again, it's a limited budget on CW, so we don't get to see Superman being Superman very often, but when we do, it's impactful. And we get a lot of insight into Clark's mindset, like what kind of Superman he wants to be. And he's constantly asserting himself. Like, Lois Lane's dad is a general, so he's like, he wants Superman to be like his point man. Like, he wants to treat Superman like a military asset. And Superman's like, nah, that's not how I roll. So it's always impactful. I like that. We didn't get a whole lot of Superman in this episode, though. There was like one outing as Superman, and it really just served the purpose to show that Superman isn't owned by any one country. That's really what it was for. But the drama that was set up, I'm down for it. I think I can deal with the angst on this show because it's grounded by good adult actors that do a good job of kind of dismissing the teen angst as teen angst and just kind of just delivering a good drama performance with stakes, with a dash of superheroics. I like Superman and Lois. I think Naomi being a young lead takes away the opportunity for me to be patient. I feel like I'd lose my patience with Naomi quicker than I lose my patience with Superman and Lois. Even though there's just as much teen angst. Really is. Really is. Marcus says, need more steel. Love the Doomsday tease. Nat frustrates me. I understand she's mad, but it's been 3 months. She still has zero chill. Yeah, dog. Like, my daughter couldn't talk to me like that. I don't care if we came from another Earth and her mother died or not. It's a lot. It's a lot of angst. Like, that's another reason I don't watch TV shows with my daughter. Because then she'll think it's okay to talk to me like that. I'm like, nah, we're not on that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But Superman and Lois, season 2, episode 1, it got me. It hooked me. The emotion, like I said, there's emotional weight to this season that I am really curious to see how it gets resolved. I'm more interested in that than I am the Superman action, which is wild when I think about it, especially considering what my issues were with Naomi. But it's how I feel. That's how I feel. Carrie says, CW, the network with all the teen angst. Yeah, that should be their tagline. We've got angst. They are getting sold soon. I'm blocking whoever this Russian dude is in the chat. Hopefully they were actually a spammer and they weren't just like saying congratulations in Russian, because then I'd feel bad. But I blocked them. So kids are quick to jeer things they don't feel are authentic and good. They can't miss and better not be too out of touch. Yeah. With Naomi, I can't say whether or not what I've seen in Naomi is authentic to kids Naomi's age. My daughter's 11. She's not quite there yet. So I don't know if it's going to resonate with the kids. I just know it didn't resonate with me. Hopefully it does, though. I really do want Naomi to succeed, because if the show succeeds, then we get better Naomi or more consistent Naomi comics because DC is like, oh, we got to put more of this out there. And Jamal Campbell gets to draw more stuff, and David Walker gets a check. Like, I really want this to succeed. I really do. It just didn't do enough to succeed with the first episode. And that's my unfortunately honest opinion about it. Tip says, I'm surprised they brought Steel back after what Shaq did to that character back in the 90s. I mean, I liked Steel. Maybe it's because I watched it as a full-grown adult. I mean, maybe. I appreciated Shaq's performance. I appreciate like just the idea of who Steel is. But if I'm being honest, I'm not looking at Steel like some classic superhero movie. I'm looking at Steel in the same vein that I looked at like every movie with a black lead in the 90s. Like Steel, Kazam, both starring Shaq. Any movie with Sinbad in it, like, I don't know, Soul Food, like all of it. It all goes in that same black 90s nostalgia bucket for me. So I love Steel. And there's the whole idea of being able to relate to a teenage girl. Like, yeah, like, I think that's just like the generation gap is real. Right, like, because I could look at some shows and be like, oh, I remember when I was that age. I remember, like, feeling that way or whatever. Kids these days are dealing with things that we never had to deal with, or I never had to deal with necessarily. I know some people do, like, you know, struggle with, like, sexuality and gender identity, and obviously there are people my age who, you know, that was a difficult part of their childhood. I can't relate to that part of it. And so it doesn't grab me the same way on TV. I think playing up the, hey, like this kid thinks I'm cute. I think this kid's cute. The whole awkward, like tiptoeing into a relationship thing. I feel like anybody can relate to that no matter what your gender is or what your sexuality is. I just think like I don't ever remember trying to juggle multiple love interests at that age. I remember being awkward and feeling like, oh, does somebody like me? Like, ooh, that's interesting. And I mean, maybe that's what she's got going on. There's just so many people vying for her attention. Any character you want to see get a TV show, even though it'd be on the CW? Not that I can think of. I'm curious to see how this Hawkman movie goes. I wouldn't want Hawkman as a TV show, though. Gotham Central. I've been reading Gotham Central lately. If Gotham Central was a TV show, I'd watch that. I'd watch that in a heartbeat. Supposedly they're doing a Gotham Central inspired TV show, though. So there's that. Yeah, I'm looking at my shelf just to see, like, I don't need a Wonder Woman TV show. We got Superman and Lois, and it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I don't need a Green Lantern TV show. I want a Green Lantern, like, movie series. Yeah, that's about it. Multiple love interests. Yeah, I was the golf bunker girl. Wasn't that popular. Right. Like, I feel like that's the part that's missing in this Naomi show. Like, because like I said, her character in the comic is not like the it girl. And so that's what's weird about the TV show is that she's very much like the popular girl and everybody wants her. I mean, she's not like popular in like the Valley Girl, popular girl way. I mean, she rides a skateboard for God's sakes. Like, but still, there's that many people interested in her. Even as she looks the awkward girl part, but it doesn't play that role. Yeah, I feel like most of us didn't. Even the popular, like unless you were like an athlete at that age, like it was just a very awkward feeling for us all. She doesn't seem awkward. She seems very confident, except with the as it relates to who she is. Like, does she have superpowers? Why is she? At one point, she was like, "Why do I wear glasses? These glasses make things worse." And I was like, "Would the eye doctor not tell you why you wear glasses?" That was the craziest lie I've ever seen on a TV show to a kid. Nah, I don't need a CW show static. Nah, nah, I don't need a CW show static. They love what got they LW. Is that like a does that mean low key? They low key did Gotham Central with Gotham? But I'll take more focus on GCPD in another show. Like I would honestly I would watch like Law and Order in Gotham. I'd watch that. They kind of did it with Gotham, but I want it to be done better. My man Al's here. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. We all had COVID last week, dog, but we're good now. Lightweight. Lightweight is basically low key. See, I'm learning new stuff every day, right? First, the Kings school the Lakers, and now the man from Sacktown is schooling me. But yeah, Al says you want some Naomi comics for your viewers. I'm always down for a dope giveaway. I like giving things away. I think it would be up to the viewers. Viewers, are you interested in some Naomi comics? Because my man Al is willing to donate some to me to donate to one of you. So give it some flames in the chat or something. Yeah, give me flame emojis if you want Naomi. Marcus said, I wish. You wish what? Oh, the CW show static? It's just, honestly, the current like Static Season 1, that Vita Ayala series, would probably play well on the CW. There's not a ton of action. There's a lot of like other stuff. So, yeah. I feel like that Static Season 1 reads like a CW show. That does not sound like a ringing endorsement, but I love that series. I love that series. Blaine says, what part were you on in Gotham? Which one, Jerome or Jeremiah? There were two Jokers? There were two Jokers? What are you talking about? So maybe I only met the one. The little kid that was crazy and like went to jail and like he like blow up a school bus or something. He was a circus dude. Something like that. Carrie says, this flames? Looks like a coffee cup to me, but hey. Tim would love to read Naomi comics. Guy says, get that Naomi, son. Where so the people have spoken. The people want Naomi. Marcus says, I wish Powerless found its audience. I don't even know what Powerless is, dog. Powerless TV. Let's pull it up. Aired on NBC in 2017. Set within the world of the DC universe. Huh. Interesting. Now I got to see if this show is streaming anywhere. I would check that out. Oh, they all found they all found the flames at the same time. Great. So yeah, Al, they're interested in Naomi. But yeah, the circus dude had a twin in Gotham. Yeah, see. I quit Gotham at the right time. Skip does not trust any platform with a static live action show. And he's an inspired filmmaker to want to head it up, not just a corporation. You know, There's a dude. There's a dude online named David Kirkman. I think he's at David Kirkman Films on Instagram. He did a short film version of Hardware that was dope. I want to say he did a version of Static too. I don't know if he actually made the full thing. Now I got to pull him up and see. But yeah, he did like a whole Hardware feature. I don't want to get like copyright strikes or anything. But yeah, he made a fan film, and he's got a trailer right now that I won't. Let me see if I can find a good screenshot. Mute this. Okay, that's decent enough. So let me show you guys this. So that is his like Static fan film. And based on the Hardware fan film he did, I'd watch it. Let's see. I can play it a little bit with no sound. It's kind of weird without sound, isn't it, though? He's got the X hat. He's got the electronic powers. He's got a very angry person around him. He's got a trash can lid. A sewer cap would probably be harder to pull off. Certainly heavier. Oh, there we go. Very cool. So anyway, give David Kirkman a budget. But stop playing with my characters. How about that? Stop playing with the characters that we love. Give a budget to somebody who really wants to see this stuff happen, and not somebody like Skip said. Like it's just like, oh, we have this character. Let's see if we can get a check real quick. Nah. Give a budget to somebody who really cares and who really wants to do well with it. I think Milestone's in good hands right now, though. Let's see. Powerless opening credits were amazing. They didn't stick the landing. Powerless was interesting. Saw a few episodes. Not bad. Just glad the Pootie Tang movie was good. Stop asking for stuff while I'm ahead. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So yeah, I mean, we covered everything. We covered Naomi, and as you can see, I wasn't a fan. Overall, I'd probably give that. I mean, if I gotta give it a grade, I'd give it a C. C plus C. It's a straight up C. It was average. Like it was average. They say C is average, but like I wouldn't want my kid to aspire to be a C student. So yeah, C is a good enough grade. And then let's see. We talked about Superman and Lois. I give that one give it an A minus. A minus. Heavy on the angst, but still delivered a nice, compelling story. I liked it a lot. So that was dope. And then let's see. Talk about that. Talk about John Romita Jr. taking over on Spider-Man. I give that one a D plus. I'm playing. I wasn't a fan. Not a fan of JR's recent works, but I'm hopeful that him coming back to Spider-Man, a character that he's so inextricably linked with, will like kind of reinvigorate him, light a fire under him. I'm thinking that'll be dope. Hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be dope. And that was all the topics. I'm going to. It's 10:15, so we ended like normal time, right? No, I'm playing. I'm gonna put these books away somewhere. Find a place for them. I'm gonna eat the sandwich that my wife brought to me an hour ago. That I was supposed to like eat while I was talking, but I didn't. And then I'm gonna hit up the bed because I'm getting tired. But you guys, I really appreciate you being here for this very special, later than usual episode of The Hangout. And Skip says, good looking on the thumbs up. We're at 22 and I hit all the topics. Let's pack up. Let's go home. But no, seriously, I appreciate every one of you for watching, for staying around, for being subscribed to the channel, listening to me ramble, all that. Before I go, please be sure to check out our sponsors, Ultimate Comics, if you're in the Raleigh area. You can walk into any of their 4 locations in Raleigh, Durham, Cary, or the Crabtree Valley Mall, which is also in Raleigh. I got to find a different way to say that. Or shop at ultimatecomics.com. Don't forget about that Silver Surfer Rebirth exclusive that's dropping next week. The Alex Maleev cover is dope. But then also shout out to Organic Price Books, the best place to look for collected editions. Thank you so much to JP for being an awesome sponsor of the channel. I got a package from JP coming tomorrow. We'll probably open it soon. But yeah, if you decide you want to buy an omnibus like the Milestone Compendium that's coming out next month, you can get that at Organic Price Books and use my coupon code BJKicks to save $2 on that order. Every order. Every time. So, of course, I'm on the wrong page. Yeah, let's go back to me. Thank you guys again for being here. I hope you saw something you liked more than my John Romita Jr. announcement. And if not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you eventually read what you buy. And always be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.